The Texas Revolution. Why were Texians angry with Mexico? Religion, no public schools, no more Anglos allowed in Texas, slavery, jailing people without a trial, Mexican military in Texas, dictatorship. Come and take it. On October 2nd, 1835, Mexican soldiers went to Gonzales to take away the cannon used by settlers to defend themselves from the Indians. The Texians refused to give up the cannon. The people of Gonzales made a flag that said, "Come and take it." The Mexican soldiers tried to take the cannon. About 160 Texians fought them off. The Mexican soldiers left without the cannon. This was the first battle of the Texas Revolution, and the Texians won. Goliad. The next week, a small group of Texian soldiers took Goliad. They believed the Mexican Presidio fort at Goliad was a threat to Texian settlers. The Texians won this small battle also. The defeat of General Cos at Bexar, San Antonio. About 1,000 soldiers from the Mexican army had control of Bexar. Their commander was General Cos. About 300 Texians marched to San Antonio, led by Ben Milam. Ben Milam was killed in the battle, but the Texians won. The Mexican army left Bexar. Texians in control. The battles at Gonzales, Goliad, and Bexar were small victories, but they encouraged the Texians. Texians now had the courage to fight Santa Anna's army. They were ready for revolution. Santa Anna begins his march. Santa Anna was angered by the Texian revolt. He gathered an army of 1,800 soldiers. He began a long march north toward Texas. On February 23, 1836, Santa Anna and his 1,800 soldiers marched into San Antonio. They camped out in the fields around the Alamo. The No Quarters flag. Santa Anna flew a No Quarters flag from the bell tower of a nearby church, the San Fernando Cathedral. The red flag meant there would be no survivors. Leaders of the battle. 2 men were the commanders at the Alamo. The Texians in the Alamo could have left the Alamo and escaped. However, Travis and Bowie and their men decided to stay and fight. They wanted to hold the Alamo so Santa Anna could not take control. The Travis Letter. William B. Travis wrote a famous letter to the people of Texas and all Americans in the world. He asked that men come to help defend the Alamo. I call on you in the name of liberty and patriotism and everything dear to the American character to come to our aid. Travis signed his letter with this phrase that he underlined 3 times: victory or death. The Gonzales 32. 32 men came from the tiny settlement of Gonzales. They rode into the Alamo to help defend the Alamo from the Mexican army. David Crockett comes to help. David Crockett was a senator from Tennessee. He decided to move to Texas. He wanted to move his family to Texas after he got settled. David was in San Antonio for only a few days when the Battle of the Alamo started. He could have left San Antonio. Instead, he and his friends from Tennessee went into the Alamo to help Travis and the other defenders. The line in the sand. Legend has it that Travis called all the men into the courtyard of the Alamo. He drew a line in the sand. He told all those to step across the line if they were brave enough to stay and fight. All the men would cross the line except 2. Bowie was too sick to walk, so he asked to be carried across. The remaining man was named Moses Rose. He left the Alamo instead of crossing the line. In all, about 185 men stayed in the Alamo to fight. There were also a few women and children, and Joe, who was Travis' African-American slave. Messengers from the Alamo. Messengers were sent outside from the Alamo during the night to sneak past the Mexican soldiers. 2 important messengers were James Bonham and Juan Seguin. Juan Seguin survived because he was outside delivering a message on the morning of the final attack. the 13th day, Santa Anna's army fired on the Alamo for 12 days. Before dawn on the 13th day, they charged at the walls of the Alamo. They used ladders to climb the walls. Many Mexican soldiers were killed by the Alamo defenders, but there were too many Mexican soldiers. The enemy climbed over the walls of the Alamo. The Mexican army took over the Alamo cannons and turned them on the Texians. William B. Travis was on the north wall. He was one of the first defenders to be killed. David Crockett was killed near the chapel. James Bowie was killed in his bed. All the Alamo defenders, including all of the Gonzales 32, were killed. Susanna Dickinson. Susanna Dickinson was the wife of Almaran Dickinson, a defender who was killed. She had a small daughter named Angelina. Santa Anna offered to keep Angelina and give her a good education, but Susanna refused. Santa Anna sent Susanna, Angelina, the other woman and children, and Joe out of the Alamo to take a message to Sam Houston. Santa Anna wanted Houston to know that he would conquer Texas no matter what the cost.